There's a reason why painful relationships keep showing up in your life. There's a reason why you're seeing this pattern with men. And it's not because you're destined to be alone. It's also not because of bad luck. It's just a lack of self-awareness, not truly understanding yourself. Now, one of the things that my clients often ask is, okay, well, how do I manifest the one in my life? How do I manifest? What do you do? How do you manifest anything? And I let them know that you are already a master manifester. The way that your life is right now, the reality that you have created for your life, you manifested. You don't even really know how to manifest better. You're a master manifester right now. What you need to understand is how to refine your manifestations. You need to understand a little clearer of why you are manifesting what you are manifesting right now, why you are manifesting these particular relationships, these particular men or women in your life. Now, to get a better answer to that particular question, you have to ask yourself, what do I have to believe is true in order to feel this way about my romantic relationships? The reason why this question is so significant is because you cannot have an emotional response about another person or about relationships unless you believe something to be true. This is the same for thoughts. You cannot have a thought unless you have a belief. So let me give you an example because that can be a little difficult to understand. Let's say you have a belief that all men cheat, okay? These beliefs are like a filter in your brain. And when you have an experience with a man, a romantic experience, every single experience has to go through that filter. The brain doesn't like to be wrong. It will find ways to validate it. It will find things like where you start to think that he's, in his phone or he's sneaking out or he's doing stuff. Your brain will find a validation that all men cheat because you hold that belief. You may not even be aware that you hold a belief like that, but that belief of all men cheat will cause you to put your walls up, to not trust. So I'm going to ask that question one more time. What do I have to believe is true in order to feel how I do in my romantic relationships? And once you are conscious of that belief and you are aware of it, then you can consciously create new beliefs that align with what you want to manifest in your life. Therefore, when you're able to change your beliefs, you will naturally have new thoughts, new emotions, and therefore new actions, different decision making. Most of the beliefs that we hold are in our unconscious mind. We don't even know it exists. It's something that we learned along the line during our childhood, and there's a lot of memories that we have. And most of our memories live in this subconscious, live in the unconscious mind. This is why we don't understand why relationships always turn out the way they do, why you keep attracting the same type of man, or why you may self-sabotage a relationship that was perfectly healthy. It's because you hold an unconscious belief in your mind. That is what's controlling your decision making. Somewhere, like I said before, somewhere along your journey, when you were a child, you learned from the adults around you what relationships are supposed to look like, what love is supposed to look like, how a man is supposed to treat a woman, how a woman is supposed to treat a man. These are beliefs that were created in your mind. When your beliefs about relationships do not align with your greatest self, your experiences with your romantic partners are always going to be painful. I often hear people saying, I don't want to have negative thoughts. I want to have negative emotions. But I like to explain to them that there's no such thing as a negative thought and a negative emotion. I tend to call them just uncomfortable thoughts, uncomfortable emotions, because inside of every uncomfortable thought, uncomfortable emotion is a message for you. I compare it to physical pain. Let's say I am running and I sprain my ankle. If I didn't feel physical pain, if I didn't feel the symptoms of when you sprain your ankle, what happens, and I just kept running, what's going to happen to my body? what's going to happen to my ankle? What's going to happen to my leg? I will seriously injure myself even more. So physical pain is just a message that the body needs healing. And if you criticize yourself, if you belittle yourself, if you experience emotions of feeling down, unworthy, unloved, or anything that you don't want to feel, all of those emotions, all of those thoughts, those are messages that the mind needs healing. That's it. Just messages. So essentially, attracting the love of your life, it's about you. And, I find it interesting because I'll meet women who, are older in their 50s and 60s, and they'll make these comments like, oh, I know who I am. There's a lot of times people think they get to a certain age and they have all these different types of experiences. They know who they are. And a lot of times people don't understand who they are, because a true understanding of yourself, a true awareness, is acknowledging and discovering those limited belief systems that are keeping you from living your best life, that are keeping you from experiencing your greatest self. And by discovering these limited belief systems and creating more empowering and loving belief systems, you will no longer be a victim of your past memories, but influenced by the vision of your future. So now let's discover what our limited beliefs are in our relationships, okay? And when you do this work, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be fun. But when you do it, you're going to have this great self-awareness and this power to use this to manifest exactly what it is that you want for your life. All right, guys. So I need you to get out your journals. Pause this video, pause the podcast, wherever you are looking at this. I want you to get out your journals right now and answer these questions as if, the I. So I'm going to be using that term I. What are the painful things that I said to myself when my last relationship ended? What did you say? What are some of those thoughts that you had? Oh, I did it again. Oh, I'm never going to find love. I'm never going to find my life partner. Here it is. I'm stuck being alone. What are some of the things that you said to yourself when your last relationship ended? Question number 2. What do I say to myself when I am rejected by a potential partner? Let's say you go out on a date with somebody. It's a first date and you are so excited when you get home. You hit it off and you're like, yes, I really feel like this is somebody that I can be with. And then they never call again. What do you say to yourself? Oh, he must have thought I was ugly. I'm too fat. Oh, he must have thought, I'm just not good enough for him. What are the things that you say to yourself when that partner, that person doesn't respond to your text or doesn't call you the next day? Number 3, how do you feel when your relationships end? Do you get depressed? Do you get down? Do you get worried that you're just never gonna find love again? What emotions arise in you when your relationships end? And number 4, which is the most important, what do I believe will happen when I fall in love? A lot of people say they want to call in the one, they want to find their Prince Charming, and they want to be in love and all of that stuff. But there is something that's happening. There's a blockage. There's some type of belief, some type of fear that you have if you actually do find the love of your life. And for some people, they think that they're going to break their heart. You open yourself up to love, you become vulnerable, and then you realize that this person is not who you thought they were, or they're not emotionally available for you, or they cheat on you. So again, what do I believe will happen if I fall in love? And be honest with yourself. The answer to all of these questions, these are your limited beliefs. And let me tell you that none of them are true. This is something that you learned along the way. Please understand. Do not fall in the trap of your negative thoughts and painful emotions, the things that your mind says, the things that your body feels. Do not fall in that trap. Take that as your cue that the mind needs healing. That's it. We need to rewire the mind. We need to reprogram the mind. You learned that somewhere along the way, somewhere in your childhood. You learned that this is how relationships look. It could be with your mom and how your mother and father's relationship is, or maybe your dad wasn't even around and that's just the meaning that you created, that all men leave. You know, you can't trust men because they're not there. They all cheat, or whatever it is that you learned along the way. That is somebody else's mess. Those are somebody else's beliefs. So when you realize that these limited beliefs are not yours, they can't have a hold on you anymore. And we need to create new empowering beliefs. We create them because your beliefs determine your thoughts. Your beliefs determine your emotions. Therefore, your beliefs determine your actions. So we need to create loving, empowering beliefs that align with what you want in a relationship. So now one of the ways we can do that, is with affirmations. People talk a lot about affirmations, looking in the mirror. You're going to be that person that looks in the mirror, and you need to determine what affirmations we need to have to help with these limited beliefs. An affirmation could be, I feel safe in relationships. Another one is, I can fully trust my partner. Another one might need to be, I am worthy of love. Or, I am open and ready to manifest the love in my life. You need to decide on which beliefs that you need to help with the limited beliefs that you currently hold right now. In order to see change in your life, you guys, you have to change. So you can start with these affirmations to begin to heal. Now, the last step is your emotions. Your affirmations handle your thoughts, and then you have your emotions. And emotions are really powerful. Now, for me, it's hard for me, if I don't have something in my life, it's hard for me to feel the feelings as if, if I'm not in love, how do you feel like you're in love? Or let's say if I'm not, you want to be a millionaire and you're like, well, you got to feel like it. You got to manifest something. You have to feel it. You have to think it. You have to feel it. You have to be it and all this stuff. And I was like, well, how do I feel like I'm successful in this if I've never been successful? So there's this really cool exercise, for this love thing. You're trying to manifest the love of your life partner, and you've never been in love before. So do this exercise to help you get into the feeling. Okay. I want you to imagine that God just poof showed up in front of you. It was like, hey girl. And she says to you, or he says to you, or it says to you, or whatever beliefs you have. God says to you, guess what? We have the love of your life. He's here. Yay! But here's the thing. You're not going to meet him until a month. Okay? So do everything you need to do, but know that the love of your life, the person that you've been thinking about and wanting to meet and wanting to start your life with, he's here. But we got about 30 days to actually meet them. Now, what are you going to do for those 30 days? How are you going to prepare for that person? What does it feel like? What plans are you going to have? Are you going to take bubble baths? And what is that bath like, to have you and your partner in your bath and enjoying each other and just cozying up together? Are you guys going to have dinners together? What's that going to be like? Sex life. What's the sex going to be like with the love of your life? What's that going to feel like? All the feelings, all the things, all the stuff that you can imagine. And he's going to be here in 30 days. So let's get ready. Let's prepare for it. Let's hit the gym. Let's start eating right, or whatever it is you want to, you want to be, because you want to show up as your greatest self, right? And so this is a really cool exercise. If you want to feel those emotions, do this exercise and just think, okay, he's going to be here in 30 days. What is that going to feel like? And how excited are you that he's here? We have the thoughts of the affirmations, and then we have the emotions with this exercise. And the last most important thing, you guys, is meditation. Now, I have created a guided meditation. It's short, it's simple. I explain in the beginning of the meditation why this works, the science behind meditation. And to be honest, the meditation is even more important than the affirmations and doing this exercise, because the meditation really deals with the belief systems. It really goes in there and it helps you rewire the brain, rewire the mind. And so if you guys are interested in the guided meditation, you can just look through my profile and you will find it. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I will see you soon. Please like and subscribe. Bye.